So there's a wonderful midrash out there about two Israelites named Reuven and Shimeon, and they were there when God parted the Red Sea through Moses. Now, as the Israelites were walking through the Red Sea, Reuven and Shimeon noticed that while it was safe to walk on the sea floor, that not everything was dry and it was completely muddy. And Reuven started complaining like, oh my God, like there's mud everywhere. Mud is getting between my toes. Mud is getting in the cracks of my sandals. And mud is getting kicked up and hitting me in the face and my clothes and my leg. And Shimon's like, I know, could it be any muddier? Why is it so muddy? There's mud here, there's mud there, there's mud everywhere. Reuben's like, I know, there's mud in Egypt, there was mud here. Like, what's the difference? We might as well have stayed in Egypt. At least then we could have just been like content with what we have, and just like mud is everywhere. And they spent the whole time walking, grumbling and mumbling, complaining about the mud, that when they got to the end, they saw the Israelites dancing and praying and giving thanks and singing, and Reuven and Shimeon had no idea why they were celebrating. They just couldn't understand the joy that people were experiencing because there was mud everywhere. See, for Reuven and Shimeon, the parting of the Red Sea never happened. They missed the miracle of the Red Sea parting. If they took a chance to look up and look to the left to see the walls of water and the right to see the other walls of water, they might have been taken aback and been like, whoa. But they were far more concerned with complaining about the mud that was getting everywhere. See, the truth is, we will always find what we are looking for. I like to think that I'm like this positive outlook guy, optimistic, but I'm always taken aback by my propensity to be negative. I mean, let's say that I go to a church service that I'm not in charge of, that I'm not leading. And you sit there and I'm supposed to be worshiping God with God's people, but instead I start nitpicking, right? Oh, why is the bulletin this color? Why did they put this song right here? Why did they sing this song at all? What's with this scripture? Why is the preacher preaching on this? Why did she spend so much time talking about this when it had nothing? You just go on and complain and critiquing and you miss out, and I miss out on the act of worship. I'm not there to evaluate the worship service. I'm there to worship God with God's people. You will always find what you're looking for. I'm ashamed to admit how much of Reuven and Shimeon's story relates to me, how much of it resonates with me. And I often wonder, how many miracles have I missed out on because I chose to focus on what I want to complain about? This ends up becoming a heart issue. Because as Richard Rohr writes, we don't see things as they are. We see things as we are. So if I'm constantly looking to be critical, constantly looking to nitpick, if I'm constantly looking for something to point out that's wrong, like where is my heart at? Recently, in my devotional readings, I came across Paul's letter to Philippians. And this is what Paul writes. And so Paul writes, from now on, brothers and sisters, if anything is excellent, if anything is admirable, focus your thoughts on these things. All that is true, all that is holy, all that is just, all that is pure, all that is lovely, and all that is worthy of praise. Because Paul knew that you will find what you're looking for. Because you will find what you're looking for. If you want to look for negativity, you will find negativity. If you want to look for mistakes, you will find mistakes. If you want to look for blemishes, you will find blemishes. If you want to look for something that's wrong with a person, with an institution, with anything, you will find the things that are wrong with those things. But what if we were to take Paul's word to heart? And instead of focusing on finding negative things, instead of focusing on the negatives, instead of focusing on complaining, what if we were to focus our thoughts on these things? All that is true, all that is holy, all that is just, all that is pure, all that is lovely, and all that is worthy of praise. Then what will we see? What will we find? How different will we perceive our lives? Our friends, our neighbors, our community, our enemies? How different will we perceive our world? And how many more miracles will we be witnesses to? So let's learn from Reuven and Shimeon. And let's not focus on things that we can complain about, because we will find what we are looking for. So instead, may we be people who look for the good in others and in this world. May we be the people that look for hope, that look for joy, that look for love, that looks for grace in any situation that we are placed in. Hey friends, thank you so much for joining me. I know that you have better things to do and better things to watch, so I am grateful that you take time to watch these videos that I put out. And per his MO, Nathaniel always wants to come and say something because he loves the camera and he loves the microphone.
What? How are you doing? Please subscribe. See you next time. Love you. Bye.